favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, that's what you needed. That's what you wanted. That's what you've been looking for a long, long time. And I think, whilst not official, I think, and feels like everyone else thinks, the Lobos are in the NCAA tournament after beating Boise State last night in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West tournament here in Las Vegas, 76-66. Good morning, boys and girls. And it is a merry, merry, merry Friday in Loboland. Jeff Symbieta here in Las Vegas. JJ Buck in D.C. back in the Boracay. You guys wearing match? Oh, no, you're not. I thought you were wearing matching hoodies this morning. What's up, boys?
Close.
Yeah,
very close.
That.
JJ
What,
doesn't realize that, but we were very close.
Did you almost wear that same hoodie?
Well, it was in the clean pile, so
Yeah. Then that qualifies it.
it does.
What's up, man? That was one. I got a lot of thoughts, but boy, my first thought is whew. And Lobo fans got to be feeling good, and there were a lot of them at the Thomas and Mack last night. A lot of them at the Thomas and Mack last night, celebrating a victory.
For the Lobos, you finally were able to get that next marquee win. You see a team that has shown you such a high ceiling at home, has struggled at times on the road, but then been in games that are so close. And this team looked like an NCAA tournament team last night. This team played their best on both ends of the floor. This team took it right to Boise State. It's what we talked about yesterday. It's what I said right after the Air Force game, is this team has to be in attack mode. They can't get too fast, but if it's there in transition, get it. They're able to turn over Boise State. They got inside. They scored on the fast break. They scored at the rim, and it was a great performance for the Lobos. And you said everyone assumes that they're in the NCAA tournament now. That's the way they were talking. That's the way everyone's talking about the game. And then you can look at tonight's game and say this is the get out of Dayton game against Colorado State.
Yeah, Jerry Palm, in his bracket that he published late last night or early this morning, has New Mexico as a 10 seed and out of Dayton. Lenardi and Sports Illustrated Sweeney haven't updated yet, so I'll be watching for that. But look, JJ, there were so many things on this. But first and foremost, I think I really do. I think they're in. I think this gets them in the NCAA tournament. This is. They think that. Jalen House thought that. Richard Pitino thinks so. You got to wait to see what the committee says, and I think a win tonight and getting into the final, and then who knows what happens on Saturday, would certainly make you feel better. I thought defensively this was – it felt like early in the season. Remember when I used to say early in the season, I said it a lot. I give Richard Pitino a lot of credit because – one of the things he said going into last offseason was that the Lobos needed to get better defensively, and I thought they did. I mean, I thought that's why they got off to such a terrific start. I thought that when they played well, they did. You'll hear a conversation later in the show at 8 o'clock that I had with Donovan Dent after about defense. I said, they're the same guys. They're still bigger than you. They're still – what happened last night? And he said it was effort. It was a mindset. Jalen House said, we're just not ready to go home yet. I think there was so much in it. And then the guards, especially House and Dent, were terrific. And J.J. House, you can say whatever you want. There was a guy sitting mid-court wearing a baseball cap, and Jalen was asked about it in the post-game on the podium. And you can see Richard Pitino trying to reel him, and he says, Jalen said, yeah, the guy in the hat, yeah, he was just talking junk, and I said, I got something for you, and he kept going. Richard said, no, that's a good answer, and he kept going and going.
Well, it's because he dropped another S-bomb on live TV after the
Did he
game,
do it?
discussing the guy in the hat.
Yeah, I heard that. What did he say about him?
He said, "Well, he didn't." He started off. He said, "I'll bleep is keep our foot on their necks the whole time," talking about Boise State. But then he's like, "That guy in the hat over there, yeah, that guy got me going."
Whatever it is, man. I will tell you, House had that house going last night. I don't know how it looked on TV, if you could feel the energy, and I think you probably could. He was terrific, man. And you know, his stat line will tell you that he shot, what, I want to say just under 50%, 10 to 21. But 29 points, he was the key. And I'm going to go back to something Pitino said way early, and we saw it. When House isn't in the lineup, they're not nearly as dynamic. They don't win at the same clip. I'll go back to the Air Force game when he sat for 17 minutes, and you know, that's why I questioned it. I mean, that guy makes things happen.
There's no question about it. No one can question Jalen House anymore. If you don't like his antics, that's on you. That's the way that the young man rubs you, whether it's chewing on a mouthpiece or just being boisterous, man. The dude plays with outward emotion. And he is so important to this little basketball team. Has been one of the key cogs to this turnaround over the last 3 years. And last night, Jalen House and Donovan Dent were unbelievable. And they were getting to the basket. They were in attack mode on both ends of the floor. They did not back down from Boise State. They rose to the occasion, and that was what everyone was looking for, to see who was going to be able to match what Boise State has brought to the court this season, and they finally did last night.
505-246-0610. That's how you can get in today, 505-246-0610. Your emails come in this morning, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Let me tell you what we're going to do today. We'll hear some of Richard Pitino's post-game on the podium yesterday, his thoughts on the NCAA tournament. It was a late night last night. It feels like I just got back in a few hours ago, and well, in fact, I just got back in a few hours ago. But it was a late night and a great night for Lobo fan. 8 o'clock, I'll play you the conversation that I had with Donovan Dent after the game. 9 o'clock, Kenny Thomas is due to be with us. We'll kick it with the former Lobo great. He had a late night, too. He was over on News Radio KKOB. And then 9:30, I want to get some stuff out at the state tournament. Boy, what a day out at the pit yesterday. Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks is scheduled to be with us. The Highland St. Pius game was terrific. You had Volcano Vista with a relatively slow start coming back, and then getting to the final, beating La Cueva on the boys' side. So it's the Volcano Vista and Oregon Mountain for the boys' 5A championship. It'll be Highland and Valley for the state boys 4A championship. So we'll catch up with Sebastian coming up at 9:30, and I'm really looking forward to that. We'll get into some of the NFL stuff. You know, there's so much. I can't wait to hear what Lobo fan has to say, because I think you're in the tournament. I know you win today, and I think it's locked. JJ, one thing that is certain, somebody's going to play 4 games here. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to win 4 games, but Colorado State and New Mexico, the 6 and 7 seed, both were in that first round game. One of them, because they play each other, is going to be in the final against either San Diego State or Utah State on Saturday here in Las Vegas. And both those teams looked full of energy. I talked to Lobos about, and specifically I asked Donovan Dent, did the Air Force win playing that game and winning decisively? And all the things I talked about yesterday, playing limited minutes, you didn't have to go, the whole time. Did that help? They said absolutely. I guess it's a mindset thing, and we'll see how it works on Friday, because we've heard that it's the third day that comes in. Well, both of these teams are going to have that same disadvantage.
Yeah, and multiple coaches will tell you that. And playing on that first day, you get in a little bit of a rhythm, you get going, you come out, and we've seen it so many times that the team that played on that opening day might be a little bit fresher, might be a little bit more locked in at the start, but it's when you get to day 3, especially if you get to day 4. But this team is so locked in energy-wise, mindset-wise. Jalen House continued to say it after the game, like they're not ready to go home. They do not want to come home until Sunday morning. So they're there to play for a Mountain West tournament title. They're bringing that energy. They don't look slowed down. And I think when you see last night, too, the rotation that Pitino had to go to due to some foul trouble, but also stuck with because of who they were playing, it shows that he realizes what needs to be done in certain situations, and this team is all in. Because when you look down and you see Jamal Mashburn struggled shooting. He's only 2-11, but he played 20 minutes, and he got 21 minutes out of Jamal Baker and a huge 5.5 minutes out of Isaac Mashila, stepping up with Nelly in foul trouble.
Yeah, first half he was big. He missed the layup at the end of the half, and he was getting people in the building. You got to make that layup. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, dude barely ever plays, but I think he gave you good minutes. I thought Isaac Mashila gave you good minutes. I think the PA announcer pronounced his name probably 4 different ways in the building last night. I want to talk to you about stat lines and that. First of all, how do you score 2 points and be really effective in a game? Take a look at JT Toppin. JT scored 2 points. He had 13 rebounds. He was credited with 3 blocks. He altered countless different shots. Leon Rice, the Boise State coach, after the game in his press conference, talked about how much the bigs of New Mexico, and really especially Toppin, affect the game. He was so active, JJ, and he missed some shots early. He only took 5. This was a guard-dominated game offensively for New Mexico, but I thought the bigs in limited minutes, Nelly because of foul trouble, they only scored 6 points, but they had 20 rebounds. I thought the bigs on the defensive side made such a difference for the Lobos, and then on the outside, as Richard Pitino said after the game, Max Wright puts up a 3. You hope it doesn't go in because he shoots so many and they're so deep. But I defensively both ways, and we're going to get into the perimeter, but I thought these two guys, you're going to look at their stat line and say, yeah, you only got 6 points out of your starting bigs. Yeah, but I thought they were really good.
Yeah, they're good enough to match the effort of Stanley and Degenhart. And those 2 players are challenges because they're big and quick. And even as quick as JT Toppin and Nelly Jr. Joseph are, the what Stanley and Degenhart do is present something that's so challenging for a forward. And I thought what really stood out to me is what they did to just match them rebounding-wise, what you're touching on. The 24 combined rebounds for Degenhart and Stanley, then 24 Toppin and Nelly Jr. Joseph. But I was much more impressed with the defensive effort for the Lobos, because what I thought really just changed the game was the showing on the perimeter. And when they would, for a second, kind of flash a trap, but then quickly recover. And I think just having the bigs on the perimeter is that added element of size where Boise State wasn't able to just get downhill. The guards weren't turning the corner. It's that instant of show and recover that Toppin and Nelly Jr. Joseph can do because of their quickness. I thought just something that small really changed the whole defensive game plan for the Lobos.
Yeah. What do you think of Mash not playing pretty much the last 12, 14 minutes? He was at one point. I'm like, is he hurt? I didn't see him on the bench, and he was standing by himself at the end of the bench. I will tell you this: he was the first guy out of the locker room at halftime, and he came out and with Sebastian Forsling, and it was like Forsling was his shooting coach. This was really fascinating to watch. Mash is slumping obviously with a shot, and he was 2 for 11, and he had Sebastian just work with him. It was a manager, Sebastian Forsling, and Mashburn on the court working on his shot, and Forsling coming out, guarding him with his big long arms and having him shoot. And Mash just worked. I mean, literally was at least 5-6 minutes out before everybody else. Worked on it. He took a shot. Actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, he scored the first bucket of the second half on a drive to the rim. He did. And then missed an outside shot, and Patino pulled him. And we're talking, was he hurt? Did he get benched? I think probably, to your point, Richard went with the lineups that were working last night, but they won that thing with Mash on the bench last night.
Yeah, and I think if, as a competitor, you're Jamal Mashburn Jr., you're a little bit frustrated. That's why you come out a little earlier at halftime, try to get your shot up, but you understand that was what was needed last night in that matchup.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. We want to hear a little bit of what Richard Petito had to say. We'll do that at some point. Donovan Dent, a conversation I had with Donnie coming up. That's Donnie Big Shot. Boy, did he hit some big shots last night. And this was runs. I want to get into some runs and what the bench did last night as well. But really want to hear from Lobo fan. This was the victory that you came here and you needed. Now, go win a championship and erase all doubt. But what do you have to say as the Lobos beat Boise State last night 76-66 in the quarterfinals of the conference tournament? They are headed to the semifinal against the 7th seed. They're going to wear white shirts tonight. How about that? As the 6th seed in the semifinal, they'll wear the light shirts. and go to play Colorado State. So let's hear from you. It's the opening drive in Las Vegas. Jeff Symbieta, DC and JJ in the Borque on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
What's up, folks? Anthony.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust.
There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Great feel in the building last night, the Thomas and Mack Center. I had one of the local reporters who wasn't around back in the day said, "Is this what it felt like in the Alford era?" I said, "Yeah, it was back to, and it always is in Vegas, right? The Lobo fans travel, and yeah, it felt that way. Boy, Lobo fan was passionate, happy, and felt good. We're here in Vegas, and you'll hear some of what Donovan Dent had to say after the game. And we're here because of the partners who make sure we're here for you. DSI Document Solutions Incorporated, New Mexico. Boost your productivity and reduce your costs with DSI. Coleman Vision, perfect game. Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor. Frontier Restaurant, an Albuquerque tradition for more than 50 years. And airport parking, easier, quicker, smarter. What says you, Lobo fan? It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. Let's go. Line one, Mud, good morning. You're on The Sports Animal. Hello, Mud.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. What a fantastic evening last night. I had to stay up and watch it. I know I had to come to work this morning, but it was worth it. I kind of thought that if Dent and House were in there, that they would take over, and sure enough, they took over. What a team effort. It was so nice to see the Bigs going against the Boise State Bigs. It was awesome. I expect them to do the same tonight and possibly on tomorrow afternoon. I think the Lobos, they're in, but, forget about all that talk. Let's just go in there and win it and get the automatic bid.
That erases any issues.
I know all the other Lobos will love that. All the fans, let's go Lobos. Let's take this.
Thanks, Mud. No, appreciate you. Yeah, win two more, and I mean, we're not having a conversation about if, right? And it's interesting the way it all lays out. Colorado State's in front of you. They beat Nevada 85-78. That did surprise me. Other side of the bracket, both overtime games. Utah State had to go overtime to beat Fresno State 87-75. Justin Hudson's out as Fresno State's coach after that. And San Diego State, JJ, missed a lot of free throws down the stretch and had to go overtime and hold off a UNLV team that was out without Caleb Boone, 74-71. Jaden Ledee hit a big shot at the end of overtime with about 14 seconds to go, so the Aztecs survive and advance. Either one of those or any of those surprise you?
How well Fresno State played.
Yeah.
Coming out like that, pushing Utah State to overtime. UNLV, without playing just a fantastic game, coming up short at home. I'm not surprised by Colorado State and Nevada. That was, you asked yesterday, if you're watching one game, which one was it going to be? And that's the one that I was going to watch between those two teams. And this shows you, this backs up what everyone was saying, is that this tournament was 1 through 7. And what do you have in the semifinals? 1, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, 1, 5, 6, and 100% crazy. Back to it. 505-246-0610. Lucky. Good morning, Lucky. You're on The Sports Animal. How you living?
Jeff, JJDC, good morning and happy Electric Lobos Friday to you guys.
What's going on? Life's grooving. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, it was a late night last night. I had the kids, the wife, everybody up watching the game. Beautiful. Towards the end, the kids were just passing out. Lobos, go Lobos. But they were into it. It was pretty awesome to watch the kids being into it. And you hit it on the head, Jeff. It felt like the Steve Alford era. That was cool watching it from home. I didn't get to go to the Pit West this year, but man, that's what it felt like. You could feel it through the TV, and then right towards the end, we had a weird power outage, and I had to listen to that's like 10 minutes of the game on the radio, but it still was coming through. There was still so much electricity coming through, it just felt great. It felt great to watch this team win, beat these guys finally. God, it's been so long, and it just feels good, man. I can't wait to see tonight's game. Let's go in there, beat the Rams, and get this thing done. Let's go win this tournament. And then, yeah, exactly. Let's not have it, what if we're in the tournament. Let's get an automatic bid and do this thing, man. Go Lobos. Have a great rest of your Friday, guys. Thanks for everything you do. Take care.
Right on, Lucky. No, appreciate it. Don't be a stranger. That's a great call. I can see it, JJ. I can see homes all around the Porque and all over New Mexico. Just everybody falling asleep late night. It's going to be a later night tonight, but it got later and later and later. As the day went on, those first two games go overtime, and then they had to clear the building. Yeah, no, everything was pushed back. Everything was late. Everything was, but look, man, it doesn't feel as late when you win, does it?
Not at all. You're excited to get up and get right back at it and talk about the victory. But here's another thing too. We're talking about we believe that the Lobos are on the right side now with that victory over Boise State, but also there's something special about winning a conference championship, whether it's a regular season or tournament title. Like, that matters. That's something that will also be with you forever. Be one of those teams that's able to accomplish that. So I know we're hyper focused on the NCAA tournament because that's the goal. That's what it's about. But I know that these are also very important to team.
Yeah, last I checked,
you get to cut down a net.
Yeah, and maybe it wasn't last I checked, but there was a minute where cutting down nets was a big thing around here, remember? And I know Steve Alford used to count them around here, and how many do you have, and how many does San Diego State have? That was a big thing for a while. And I asked Donovan Dent about that, and he'll talk about that in the conversation we'll have coming up at 8 o'clock. It's a big deal. I think they're in. Is there a scenario where they could lose tonight and not be in? I imagine there is. Do you like the matchup with Colorado State? Because right, Stevens is terrific. Cartier's been good. They've got 20 with the headband. Is it Parker, who was really good last night? But I look at it and say, all right, you got two teams that are relatively tired but hungry. And JJ, my theory held up, and that's yesterday when I said I think the Lobos are going to win, and I gave you a number of reasons why I thought the Lobos were going to win yesterday. I thought the confidence. I thought they were playing well. I thought they played well at Utah State. I thought the Air Force game was going to give them a little bit of momentum and swagger and put them over the top. And you're going to say Air Force win. Yeah, but it's a good taste in a tournament. And I've got a theory, and it's proven, unscientifically, about 90% over the years, right? When two evenly matched Mountain West teams play, the team who needs it most usually wins.
Yeah, and it finally came through for the Lobos. Because this is the last opportunity. When you look at the Boise State, Utah State games on the road to end the season, those were really challenging situations for them. But this was all right, you don't have another one after this. So you got to get this done. And they did last night. And I was really impressed with the way they played. They went right at Boise State, did not back down. And you saw the high ceiling that this team has and why so many people believed that this could be a year where this team gets to the NCAA tournament. This team has the ability to win games.
All right, keep them coming. 505-246-0610. That is the text line here at the Sports Animal and the phone line. Text line says, glad the Lobos won. Hope they win the whole tournament. I know Lobo fan everywhere feels that way. Late night, you're just getting up. Let's hear from you because it was a big one. Aggies, by the way, were in the Conference USA tournament yesterday in Huntsville, Alabama. They fell to Western Kentucky 89-69, I believe is the number I wrote down. I'll double-check that for you. But so their season ends there 13-19 overall. And I'm going to tell you, I want to talk about this on the other side too. JJ, that team, that program winning 13 games may not sound impressive, but from where they were a year ago, what kind of job do you think Jason Hooten did down there? Just putting that thing together, putting a competitive basketball team on the floor.
That is the definition of starting from the bottom.
Yeah, and I thought he did a decent job, actually, to good job down there. And They won some games in that league. They were 7-9 first year in Conference USA, and they'll get to restock down in Las Cruces. All right, 505-246-0610. That's how to get here. We got some NFL stuff, too, big NFL stuff, actually, to get into. But, Lobo fan, I know you're feeling good this morning, although tired. Want to hear your thoughts here on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
The Thomas and Mack Center. The Lobos beat Boise State last night. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, JJ. I've heard that a lot. Well, last night the Lobos were a different team. It was really interesting, and we're going to go to the phones here in a second, 505-246-0610, listening to the Boise State postgame. And Max Rice, the son of the head coach, Leon Rice, and their star guard, said he thought New Mexico was the most talented team in the league. And I found that interesting. But Leon Rice said, remember, they were 18-3. And he said, well, we went in there the first time and beat them in the pit. They had won however many in a row, and that was when they were on that streak of beating teams by double digits. He said they were beating everyone by 30. I'm like, well, it wasn't 30, but they were beating everybody handily. And there was a time where it was thought that New Mexico was the best team in this league. And so this is to your point that you made right before the break. You got 1, 5, 6, and 7 left as seed lines in this tournament, and one almost got beat by a 9. JJ, the Lobos have been one of the better teams in this league, and yeah, they end up being the 6th seed, but that's how tight this league was at the top.
And for New Mexico, they finally were able to flash. I think something we haven't seen a lot, and it is more of a grittiness. It was an ability to adjust their game because they played fast, but watching the game, they didn't play too fast. They didn't force a lot of things. And I was impressed with that. When they played fast, it was off of turnovers, and then they got out in transition. But then if they had the setup, they did. They moved the basketball. They got it inside. They touched the paint. It was driving the basketball. I was really impressed with the response from the Lobos.
Yeah, and I like the inside out as well. Miguel still on the line? All right, let's go. Miguel, good morning. You're listening to us in Arizona. How you living this morning, Miguel?
Hey, brothers, doing good. Hey, Lobos looked good last night, but I just don't trust the NCAA committee. You know, every year they leave 1 to 2 teams out that should make the tourney, and I'm not saying that's not the case. I like to think that the Lobos punched their card last night, but I tell you what, it's all about seeding. I don't want the Lobos to be the 4th or 5th team out of the Mountain West to make the tournament. If they go out and they win the tournament, they win the Mountain West Conference tournament, that improves their seeding. It guarantees they're in, and you don't have to worry about anything. That'd be the perfect scenario. But I know if they won tonight, they'd definitely be in. So, I'm very happy for it. I also want to tell you guys real quick, be careful with talking about New Mexico State. That's going to bring some bad mojo into the conversation. I don't think that you even need to recognize that university down south. They got a terrible AD. Until he's fired, I wouldn't even bring up that school down there. That's what I think this morning, gentlemen. Yeah. Have a good day.
Thanks. I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to agree with you on the committee and the Lobos. Like, I think they're in, but I'd be a hell of a lot more comfortable as a Lobo fan if I won one more game. Right? Don't you think, JJ? I think they're in.
No doubt.
Richard Pitino said last night, I'll be shocked or stunned, whichever word he used, if we're not in at this point, is what he said. I think they're in, but I don't know that I disagree that, I'd feel a hell of a lot more comfortable getting to the final, winning again tonight.
Well, no question. They're at the point where I know Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is discussing that, a lot of teams that are in this situation, even on the bubble, you're pretty much on your seed line right now. But for the Lobos, even though I do believe that, they are, I don't know a couple steps over that line on the right side of the bubble. I do think that ultimately winning tonight's game, and let's say if they don't win the tournament, this gets you out of Dayton. I still think that they're hovering around there with what could happen because there's still a lot of basketball to be played for these teams, that there's still some bubble teams that are alive, that are going to push each other from that 10 to 11 line. And I think the Lobos are in a great position to not just be sitting here going, oh, I think we're in the NCAA tournament. I think they could be going, oh my gosh, we just cut down a net.
Yeah, on Miguel's other point, we are going to talk about New Mexico State periodically. I mean, there are more Aggie alumni in Bernalillo County than anywhere else in our state, and they're relevant. And I mean, I gave you their score and their thing. We're going to go back to Charlie here in a second, but DC, it's cut number 2 because this really alludes to what Miguel was just talking about. This is Richard Pitino last night in the post game, or maybe it was early this morning. Feels like 2 hours ago. On does this get them into the NCAA tournament?
I would be stunned if we're not in the NCAA tournament after getting that win right there. But now let's go see if we can get Colorado State. I mean, we've got amazing metrics. We've got 24 wins. That's a quad 1 win right there, most likely, I would assume. So amazing win, and I think that's going to put us on the right side. So that pressure should be off us a little bit, but we want to go win a championship. It's Friday night in Las Vegas. Like, we should be fired up. See if we can go beat Colorado State.
Yeah, I think that's the feel. I think it's like one of those. I think we're in. Everybody says we should be in now. Man, tell me, JJ, I've seen crazier things. I'm not telling you they're out because I really believe they're in. But tell me you've not seen crazier things than something like they wouldn't be in.
It's not impossible. I do think this is an NCAA tournament team. Last night was the biggest game in 10 years for New Mexico.
Yep.
Now, I don't think that the same amount of pressure is on this game because of what they were able to do last night. Now you can really shift your focus because they were owning it, and they put the pressure on the Utah State game last Saturday. They put the pressure on last night's game of understanding what it means in terms of your NCAA tournament resume. Now go out there and realize you can win a championship. And those are special. Those are also things along the way that you will remember, that the fans will remember, is getting a chance to climb up that ladder and cut down a net.
Cutting down net's still a big deal. Charlie, you are on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning, gentlemen. How's it going?
Life's grooving. What's happening?
Well, hey, so I stayed awake last night. I'm like everybody else, knowing you have to go to work on a Friday. A win makes that going to work much easier. I told my wife as she grabbed a blanket on the chair and said, "Did you want me to wake you up when the game was over?" And that's exactly what happened. A couple things that stand out to me about last night. I was really impressed with the non-panic mode that the Lobos often get, not necessarily this team, but in the past, when we get into a game that's necessary to win, we tend to panic. And last night, it seemed like we were in control the entire game, never panicked. And the two guys that took over were phenomenal last night. But one guy that we're not talking a whole lot about, although he didn't score much, was JT. I mean, the guy just rebounded like a madman last night and gave us many opportunities. And so I think, with the win last night against Boise, I think we've got some momentum going. I want the guys to get some rest today. And let's go get Colorado, and let's just go ahead and win this whole thing and bring home a title. That would be awesome. So thanks for what you guys do, and we'll catch up with you after the game.
Great call, Charlie. And DC, let's cue up cut number 8 because that's going to lead right into what he's saying. But I said earlier, how do you score 2 points and affect a game? And that's what JT Toppin did last night. He didn't have to score. And Richard Pitino, after the game, was talked about JT Toppin and what he can do because he didn't score a lot of points, but he did affect the game.
Well, he rebounded the ball extremely well. We wanted to see if we can get some blocked shots. He had 3 shot blocks there. He was a little bit beat up in the first half, came back and was terrific. I thought our front court guys, we challenged them, and they certainly answered that challenge.
Yeah, and Charlie hit it dead on, man. Let me give you another guy that we didn't talk about, and he actually was on the podium last night. Jamal Baker. And he came off and he scored 9 points. And if I'm not mistaken, it was like a 9-0 run all by himself. And he hit some threes in the first half, and he hit 2 early on. It was they were down 9-7. He hit 2 in a row to go up 13-9, and then he hit another one coming out of the TV timeout, the under 4 timeout, to put him up 25-20. And I thought he defended well, and that's why he was in the key situation set of mash. I thought his length on the perimeter was was good. They you'll hear Donovan Dent talk about the depth of this team when we have the conversation here at 8:00. But I thought Baker was really good off the bench too.
Absolutely. You saw last night, Jamal Baker Jr., it reminds me of a little bit of the conversation we had with the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, Travis Kelce is like, just get through the regular season, then you step up in the postseason. That's almost what it felt like with Jamal Baker. Everything he's been through in his collegiate career and questioning, how healthy is he? Is he able to go? And then in the biggest game of the season, and Richard Pitino put him right out there, leaned on him for 21 minutes, and he performed.
All right, keep them coming. 505-246-0610. 8:00, my conversation with Donovan Dent after the game in the locker room last night. 8. What time do we do that? 9 o'clock, we'll kick it with Kenny Thomas, scheduled to be here. 9:30, we're going out to the state tournament and going to have a conversation with Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks. When we come back, what Richard Pitino had to say about Jalen House, a guy that, man, sometimes you got to reel in, but what he does, his energy is imperative to how this team is having success. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Audible.
eBay.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Life being shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
Animal.
All right, your reaction coming in this morning on the Lobo victory late last night. Maybe you're just getting up now. 76-66 as you fell asleep on the couch or in front of the TV or wherever you fell asleep last night. Wifey said, should I wake you up when the game's over? Lobos are moving on to the semifinals of the conference tournament. This guy's mad that I gave scores from another game or another team. JJ, why would you even mention New Mexico State? They had a horrible season. The guy simply couldn't resist talking about them, could you? Please stop already. This is a day for Lobo fans. Dude, I gave other scores, too. I gave the Utah State score. I gave the whatever, man. We give results, what happens. I'll give you North Carolina State beat Duke. Colorado beat Utah. There's a lot of other stuff going on that some people peripherally care about. Mike, how you feeling? Let's go to the phones. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Mike?
Oh, what a beautiful day in Lobo land. And
hey,
just a couple things. First, I'd like to wish anyone driving out to Vegas and traveling be safe. And call. I want to hear your adventure going out to Vegas to increase that massive crowd that they had and what energy that they had out there. The other point I want to make is, I think there's definitely something going on with Mashburn, and I think he had mentioned a couple games ago that he's struggling through something. He didn't make a big deal about it. I know the school's not really saying much about it, but there's definitely something going on with him. But he put so much other efforts out there that his shot's off, and I think it's definitely will live with it because he contributes in so many other ways. And you know what? He may come back next year. I mean, I think there's just he knows he's better than what he's put out there, which I think he's great. But I think in his mind, he may come back to try to redeem what he believes is a better season. And I'm loving what I'm seeing on the floor. I think I would not want to see the Lobos in the tournament if I was any other team. I think you'd want them not in your bracket. And I think the Lobos will win the Mountain West. They're playing too good. And I think we're playing a team that also played that first game in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. And I think they were a team also that had lost 2 other times to Nevada. So we were both sitting in the same place last night, and we came out ahead. Or we will come out ahead tonight.
Yeah, Mike, I appreciate it.
Stuff, but I just thought I'd throw that out there. But
that's really good.
Going out there.
Thanks, Mike. JJ, I think there's something going on with Mash too, and I've told you for weeks. I think that we're going to find out that there's an injury or there's something going on with him. I think he still contributes. I think there were moments last night where I was glad he was on the floor. It was really, it was odd to see them making a run and Jamal Mashburn Jr. standing at the end of the bench, stretching and doing his thing. But, Richard did what he had to do to win a game. I think it was the right thing last night. He had the right lineup on the floor when they needed to win. I mean, they won, right? They won convincingly. Convincingly, it's not fair. They pulled away. They won by 10 points. And I don't know what you think with Mash, but I've told you for a while, I think something's going on.
Yeah, the dude's not 100%. I don't think it's breaking any news. I don't think it's something that like, oh my gosh, you're trying to hide it. It's just he missed some time, and certain players you see it. I saw it firsthand with a couple Lobos this season, where there's some players that were out there contributing every single day, but they're not 100%. It's not the whole world doesn't know it, like exactly what's going on, but you just see players that like, oh, there's something else. Like this player could be better. This person could be more consistent, and it's just not there. But it happens when it's a life of an athlete too. When you put your body through so much, and these young student athletes still do that on a daily basis. Go through so much to be out there on the floor. And there's a little bit with Mash. He's not 100%. He's going through it a little bit, but I think that what makes him who he is his frustrations. They're not going to be outwardly. They're not going to carry over and affect this team. Like, he's still going to be the dude you expect him to be, whether he's on or off the floor.
Yeah. All right. When we return, we're going to hear a conversation I had with Donovan Dent. You'll hear Richard Pitino talk about what Jalen House did. Keep them coming at 505-246-0610. If you're thinking about ditching glasses, contact lenses, you don't want to wear a corrective lens anymore, may I suggest you make an appointment with Dr. Stephen Coleman over at Coleman Vision. I did it years ago. It's been over 20 years since I had my LASIK. It's still one of the best things I ever did. Yeah, I do wear reading glasses because that's just the progression, right, as you get older. But I don't wear glasses to see far, to drive at night, any of the things that I used to do, read the teleprompter like I used to. I went in, Dr. Coleman said, you have an astigmatism. Went in at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and by the next morning I was anchoring the news at 5 a.m. without any lenses, and it changed my life. And it changed a lot of people's lives. If you are thinking about ditching the glasses, he's the best. He has helped develop the technology that's used around the world. People come from everywhere to Dr. Coleman. Coleman Vision is the spot for a quick procedure that will change your life long term. Go online. It's all there at colemanvision.com, and you can make an appointment at 505-821-8880, 505-821-8880. You're listening to The Opening Drive. Thanks for being with us on a Friday morning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
or surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, you're not done yet, but boy, yesterday was a big one. 76-66. Lobos beat Boise State in the quarterfinals of the conference tournament here in Las Vegas, going to the Mountain West semifinal tonight against Colorado State in a game that most people believe put New Mexico into the NCAA tournament. Good morning, boys and girls, and merry, merry, merry Friday. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. A rejoicing morning, JJ, for Lobo fans. I think you feel much better. You feel even better with a win tonight, but Lobo fans in a pretty good space, even though a little bit sleepy this morning, huh?
Yeah, but you get a little extra pep in your step from a dub. Feeling good this morning. Looking forward to tonight. Late night on the couch if you're here in the Burke, watching the Lobos and enjoying it and seeing if team can be playing to cut down a net tomorrow.
Or a late night with all your buddies here in Las Vegas. If you're
I'm jealous. I am.
Part of Pit West.
But the split second, I had the thought of, do I go back out there? And I was like, it's feel like death. I can't do that just yet. But it was watching that last night. It's like, man, you know what? Winning games out there is so much fun.
Yeah. And Friday night, the semifinal night in Vegas is really good. The first game will be San Diego State and Utah State, and then Colorado State and Boise State go late. All right, we're going to hear from Donovan Dent here in just a few minutes, but let's hit the phones. Andy, good morning. You're on The Sports Animal. Hello, Andy.
Good morning. On my way late to work, wishing I had a spring break, and there's not enough coffee.
No doubt.
That was a heck of a game. I honestly didn't know how well the Lobos were going to play, and they've responded better than I thought. And I can see us doing well. I really wish Mash was there. I mean, he's there, but I mean, in playing more of the games. I'm just praying for that kid because he's meant a lot to us, and I hope. Today or hopefully tomorrow he shows up. Jalen did great. I mean, Donovan Dent did great. A lot of key players. But I got to give the game ball to Boise State player, Stanley. He was great. He grabbed Jalen House, picked him up, wrestled him after that hard foul, and made sure Jalen did not retaliate.
That's a good point.
Had Jalen retaliated, there would have been a chance he would have missed the game today.
I got
to give the game ball to a Boise State player because that was heads-up thinking and kind of saved Jalen as hot as he was.
Yeah, Andy, thanks. That's a good call. Omar Stanley did kind of pull him away. Jalen went up for a dunk. I don't know that I've ever seen Jalen House dunk in a game. And at the end of the game, he went up for a dunk, and it was Roddy Anderson, who was a hard foul, pulled him down. That could have got ugly. Jalen was hot. Jalen was hot all game, and that's how Jalen runs. But I didn't even think about that. That's a pretty good call.
Yeah, I thought it was it's one of those moments that it was a hard foul. Dude's in the air, you're going to fall down. There's a little bit extra, just tugging at the bottom, but just bodies flying everywhere. And it was how quickly the ref got in there, the teammates just to make sure nothing else happened. Because that's one, if you're Boise State too, you run in a situation, well, the next game you miss, at that point, it will be an NCAA tournament game. If you get thrown out for what they deem a fighting action, as opposed to just a technical ejection. And it's one of those moments that now it goes under the radar, but yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
Jeffrey, good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Jeffrey.
Good morning. Wasn't yesterday all around a great day of games, like all the games?
Yep. It's March, man. It's conference tournament, and they're everywhere. They were great games. But we're only allowed to talk about the Lobo game, according to some people.
Well, according to some people, they're dumb. Anyway, so I just think that when I was watching all the games yesterday, I was just, you know how it is. You hope every other game goes into quadruple overtime, and you hope that you win by 30. So it was just fun watching everything, and I feel the Lobos made the game a little dirty, not like too ugly, but I just felt like we beat them in all areas. Like in the first half, we definitely, did what we needed to do in the rebounds, but when people weren't making shots, we were getting dirty underneath at the other end and playing defense. And when we were making shots and then they would match us, then we would answer. And so I felt we got down in the mud with them and beat them there, and then we out-finessed them when we had to, and we outran them when we had to. And one thing I was going to say is that you might be getting ready to cue this up, and I really liked it, but at the press conference, I think Grammer, who I absolutely love and is really great at his job, I think he was going to ask Coach about House and kind of how he plays with emotion, and I really appreciate Coach just shutting it down and basically saying, look, man, this is the guy that's my starter, and we win with him, the complete version of him, and we lose with him, the complete version of him, and I really thought that was a poignant moment. So I don't know if that's a good segue to the soundbite, but let's go on and see what we can do against Colorado State. Should be a good game.
Yeah, no, Jeff, thank you. And DC, I think that was the one that we had queued up. We're ready to go. Yeah, I believe it is cut number 3, and this is it.
You ask all the time. I don't care. I don't do it, but that's him, and it's the guy had 29 points. What would I ever do to get in the way of that? It doesn't affect him. Utah State, they're screaming at him, swearing at him. It doesn't affect him. So what do I care? He's a great kid. He competes his butt off. There's an old expression: you'd rather tone down a Bronco than warm up a corpse. And I don't want to tone him down too much. He's damn good, and fans, it doesn't bother him. And you're seeing that a little bit more with some players. They're kind of going back. It's not my cup of tea, but have at it. Keep playing great. I'll let you do that for sure.
Score 29 points, and I'll drink that tea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I love that response from Richard Pitino because, the emotion is who he is. What do we need to keep bringing that up for? We've watched Jalen House play basketball for 3 years. We've watched this team rally around Jalen House. We've watched this team, not, be derailed by Jalen House. It's with anything. If you give it, you got to take it. If that's the kind of player you want to be, you want to give it, you got to take it. And I think House can handle that. The Lobos handle it. And there you go.
And then there's the other side of the coin. And then there's the guy who is incredibly effective, poised, calm. And I'm not telling you Jalen's not poised, but it's a different kind of emotion. It's controlled emotion. And Donovan Dent was great last night. And, so you've got these two guys who took over the game. It was House and it was Dent. Dent's a sophomore who is much more – but there was some time now, JJ, where he scored and he showed emotion, and it was he came right over where I was sitting and just screamed at the crowd, and he let it out too.
Dent is close, man.
Yeah. He let it out too.
That same dude, he's going to let you know what's up.
DC, I think we got this ready to go, but I was in the locker room after the game and had this conversation with that sensational sophomore, Donnie Big Shot, Donovan Dent.
Great game. A big game when you needed a big game. You took control of it. What made tonight different than the other times against Boise State?
We didn't fold to their physicality. We just pushed through. We were the more physical team, I feel like, and we just played together as a great team.
The word bully was used over the last couple of days, and they said, well, they bullied us. And I thought back to it. Maybe they did. You weren't going to let that happen again. It seemed as a unit.
No, we weren't. As a team, we came together and was like, that. I almost cursed. That can't happen again. We knew it. We knew what we had to do to beat them. We knew we could.
So what's the difference, son? Because they're still big. They're still the same guys. You guys didn't get any bigger. What was the difference tonight?
We changed our mindset. We didn't want to get pushed around no more. We knew what we had to do. We came in, we're the physical team. We started off 7-2, quick run, just physical, and that's all we had to do for the whole game.
Donovan Dent is with us, and he had another big game. You had 4 steals, I want to say, by the first TV timeout. Your defense is big. You get a lot of credit for passing the ball. You're smooth. You get to the bucket. Defense was huge tonight.
I mean, yeah, Coach always talks to me. I had a big matchup with Max Rice. He had a big game against the first time. I knew I had to kind of shorten his water a little bit, hold him to shorter than what he averages, and we did a great job on him.
Going to the NCAA tournament. At least I think you're going to the NCAA tournament. I know your business here isn't done, but what does it mean to, we all think you clinched an NCAA tournament spot today?
It was amazing. It's been worked for all season. We knew we could do it all year. We talked about it. We talked about just getting there, playing our butts off to get there, and we did tonight. It was a big game for us, and we got what we got to do.
Did playing a game against Air Force and just being dominating the night before, did that help in this game at all?
I 100% think so. We built great momentum from that game as a team chemistry. We beat them by 29. It's the largest win for one of our programs. And we just built momentum from there, and we had a lot of good vibes and energy coming into this game. We knew we could win.
Here comes Colorado State tomorrow. One of you guys is going to play 4 games. It's kind of crazy that certainly one of you is going to play for a championship. The goal was, I think the first goal was to win tonight to get to the NCAA tournament, but now you can win a championship.
That's our whole goal. We talked about it all season long. We knew we have a team capable of winning the whole Mountain West. We're in the position to do it. Let's go win tomorrow, and then win the game after that. We're going to be great.
How about the flow? And you guys like Isaac Mushila comes in and gives you minutes. Jamal went on a 9-0 run by himself today. This time of year, everybody's got to contribute, don't they?
We've been talking the whole year. We have one of the deepest teams in the whole conference, and our bench players came in today and played their butts off. Huge hats off, and they played their butts off and helped us to a great win. JV came in, first 2 possessions, back-to-back threes, amazing. Now they have to press help. They can't help off him. Easy lanes for me and House. And it's just things like that for our team are just so huge.
I want to talk about the lanes. You make it look effortless, and I know it's not. But there was one where you had Anderson on you, and you kind of looked him off. You stood up straight and then blew by him, right, and lulled him to sleep. Getting to the rim is an art form, and you do it in so many different ways. It's something I know you pride yourself in, but it's a huge part of what's made this team run.
Yeah, I mean, that's just me working out and doing all the little stuff outside of practice, all the little workouts, just controlling my body pace, slowing it down, watching his hips, and seeing him lift. That's all I had to do to blow by him. And I've been doing it all year, I feel like, and it's just been an art for me.
Well, he's Johnny Big Shot, and he had another big game, or whichever nickname you decided you wanted to go with, we'll go with it. But, hey, congratulations. I think you're going to the NCAA tournament, and you're playing in the conference semifinals. Another big game for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Donnie Big Shot. I like him so much, JJ. I like his poise. I like his confidence. But he said something early in that conversation. I said, what was the difference? They're still big. You didn't get any bigger. We just changed our mindset. We came out physical. We came out and set the tone. And, sometimes it's who wants to go out and throw the first punch. And I'm not sure I think Boise State punched them back. They made runs. But I can't believe Boise State was surprised by the way New Mexico came at them. But it did. It felt like a mindset because somebody mentioned it earlier about the way they came out. They'd never looked rattled. There was so much on the line. And this New Mexico team last night, JJ, to me, was poised and confident. And that's why they won that game last night. That's why I think they're going to the NCAA tournament.
They won that game last night because of their defense. And it's what we talked about yesterday. And one of the things I said is the Lobos had to go at Boise State. They had to take it at the Broncos, attack on both ends of the floor. And that's one of those things, right? It's easy to say, but how do you do it? And it's knowing that there's enough. Like the Lobos can cover up some of their deficiencies on the perimeter by what Nelly Jr. Joseph and JT Topping can do. And it's the little things as even showing for an extra half second on the perimeter where JT or Nelly comes out, shows a little bit. It's like, hey, we're trapped. No, we're not recovering back. And that as a guard with the basketball, you hesitate for a second. So Boise State's not necessarily going right downhill. They're not taking advantage of their size. And it was just a constant effort defensively from New Mexico that was there from start to finish. They did that all game long with whoever was on the floor. Whether it was 5.5 minutes for Mushila, where he had to guard Tyson Degenhart. and just go out there and give effort. And the Lobos held Boise State's 29% shooting. 29% shooting.
Mm-hmm.
This was a team the Lobos could not slow down at all. They scored in the 80s in both games on New Mexico in the regular season and held them to 29.4% from the field and 66 points less.
Effort, man. Effort, and I agree with you. Effort and defense. All right, keep them coming. 505-246-0610. You're sending emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. You can find us on the Facebook, the OD and the AM. If you're watching there, you just saw Adrian show you the highlights of the game while you were hearing the conversation with Donovan Dent. He's doing a great job there. And so coming up at 9 o'clock, Kenny Thomas is going to be with us, the former Lobo great. We'll kick it with Kenny and get his thoughts on the Lobos advancing to the semifinal. 9:30, Sebastian Noel from ProView Network. We got to take a look at the state tournament. DC, did you get out to the state tournament yesterday?
I have a sick house, and unfortunately I couldn't do it. But I do have a father-in-law who went to Grants High School and is really into high school basketball, so he and I are going to try and make it.
All right. Yeah, no, it's a great time, and everything I hear is it's been great out there. So we'll do that coming up at 9:30. Hey, I want to refresh your mind on IPS, and I know you see International Protective Service, their vehicles and their officers all over town, whether it's in your neighborhood or at retail stores. They're making a difference. IPS watches my home. They have for years. They watch my neighbor's home. It's a level of security. It's affordable private security in an environment where unfortunately, we need that. It's given my family peace of mind, my neighbors as well. Don't be a victim of a break-in. There's nothing worse than coming home and having your house or your business broken into. IPS will protect your home and your business in Albuquerque and Santa Fe. They install alarms. They install video cameras. They monitor those. And if there's something that goes wrong, they're there within 7 minutes with armed, trained security officers. Homes and businesses that are protected are far less to be the ones that are targeted by the bad guys. Call IPS, see what they can do for you. I think you're going to be impressed. 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them, gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your
As soon as it went out, you know, I wasn't sure if he hit it or Baker, but Baker's reaction was immediately, you know, Lobo ball. And, you know, he's right there, so he knows. And to me, that was the play of the game. And what that showed me, and we saw it throughout the game, Boise State was missing shots. They were missing threes that in the past they would have hit. Rice wasn't hitting, you know, 15 bombs from 85 feet away. Yeah. And Degenhart was not able to get his shot off many times. I thought, oh, okay, here he goes. And somehow the Lobos were able to double team him or put up arms, and he had to pass the ball out, and they had to pass the ball around. They weren't getting inside on the Lobos, killing the Lobos on the inside like they had been. So it just, throughout the night, if you just watch it,
it's really good.
All the little things that were going against us in the past went for us last night. So.
Yeah, and you know, Lewis, I think Degenhart's, and JJ, I don't know how you feel about this. I think he's the hardest guard in the league, the hardest player to guard because he is good down low. He's 6'10", and he's a terrific shooter. He handles the ball well. I think he's one of the hardest players to defend in this league.
Anytime you have a forward that can stretch the floor and handle the basketball, it's going to be difficult because there's not many forwards that can move as quick as these guys. You kind of see it too with a little bit with Ledee at San Diego State. Jaden Ledee, you know, he's got even more of a small forward vibe than Degenhart, but Degenhart is, you know, solid power forward, play inside and out.
Yeah, and Ledee's game, and Lewis, thanks for the call because it was a really good one. I agree with him on that big play when Degenhart had the ball go off his leg. Ledee, I'm not worried, although he hit a big three yesterday in their game. I usually don't worry too much on the perimeter. He's lethal at about 15 feet, right at the free throw line, and then obviously down low, he's just a man. Degenhart's game, JJ, and his shot is so smooth. He's honestly one of my favorite players to watch in this league, and there's some really good ones. I just think he's been so good. He's such a program guy too. Like been there so long and made it happen for them. But it's a great call because I think controlling him, and I say you controlled him, he still scored 23 points, but he was 7 for 20 shooting. He had a 23-12 double-double, JJ. Degenhart did. He was just really good. All right, we got a sweet deal for you. Go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com and do it at 9 o'clock because these will go quick. It is Tomasitas. So for just $25, you get $50 worth of Tomasitas. Dee is with us to tell you about that. Dee, good morning. I'm going to guess you're like many New Mexicans celebrating a big Lobo win over there?
Good morning. Absolutely. And what goes better with a big win than red and green?
Nothing at all. Delicious New Mexico
Absolutely.
cuisine where y'all don't mess with the chili. They got a happy hour over there at the bar Monday through Thursday from 11 in the morning till 6 p.m. That's like happy hours, plural, quick, convenient lunches. You got it all over there at Tomasitas, D.
We do. We have a great bar. Come in, have a swirl or a frog. Come with friends. We've got a couple TVs. We're not a sports bar, but we support them all.
Did you say swirl or frog? Is that what you said?
I did. Our swirl is our frozen margarita with our sangria, and our frog is our frozen margarita with Grand Marnier.
Look at ICDC back there going, okay, a frog sounds all right. I mean, I've had a frog or two in my life. That sounds good. Yeah. You're right over there on I-25 in Jefferson in front of the Rio 24 Theater. You're open every day for lunch and dinner, and if they're not on your rotation, they should be. Get out there and make a part of what you're doing. Real meat, real New Mexico chili, real honey. They don't mess with it. Any specials going on? Anything that you want to let everybody know about?
Everything's special, but you mentioned our happy
Everything's
hour.
Special.
That's Monday through Thursday, but we've got the chili's hot, fresh every day.
Yummy, yummy. I can't wait to get back to New Mexico and have me some Tomasitas chili. It's our sweet deal. It's live on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. It hits at 9 o'clock. Don't be late because you will be sorry if you are. $25 gets you $50 worth of Tomasitas. Go enjoy it. Dee, have a great day. Appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All
right. Be well. That's Tomasitas as your sweet deal. All right. When we get back, and I'm not going to cut you off if you want to talk about the Lobos. It's your day, man. Keep them coming. JJ, there are some headlines in the NFL, though, we kind of got to hit, right? Some big things that are going on, some big signings. The Bears made a trade overnight that I think is pretty significant. So I'm going to give you the NFL headlines when we get back. If you want to keep coming in on your Lobos, big victory, 76-66, do that as well. 505-246-0610 on the opening drive. We're live in Las Vegas and in the Burke on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
Brought to you by First Choice Community Healthcare. First Choice Community Health.
Favorite talk shows.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated,
Rip, plaster,
destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
76-66, you beat Boise State in the conference quarterfinals. It'll be New Mexico and Colorado State late night tonight here in Las Vegas. In the Mountain West Conference semifinals, right there at the Thomas and Mack, as Adrian is showing you on the ProView Network stream if you're watching it. And JJ, I got to believe that there's a whole lot more Lobo fans that got in the car this morning and are heading out here for the party. It was a hell of a party in Sherry and Silver last night. They took that place over. Leon Rice, the coach of Boise State, was asked about it afterwards, and he says, I'm appreciative of our fans, and we're growing this thing, and hopefully more and more will come. But, boy, what they had was pretty amazing last night. He said it felt like a road game.
Yeah, it might be a difficult time trying to get out of town today. With what's
going on?
70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So
good time.
Flight's probably not phenomenal. A lot of snow around New Mexico.
Yeah, it's raining here. So, yeah, all right. Well, if you are going, be careful. If you're driving, be careful. Hey, there are some NFL headlines that I got to hit you with because pretty significant stuff. Overnight, the Bears acquired a really good receiver from the Chargers. Keenan Allen was asked to take a pay cut, an 11-year pro who's been really good with them, and he didn't want to take a pay cut, and so the Chargers traded Keenan Allen to the Bears for a 4th-round pick. He's in the final year of his 4-year extension. He's due $5 million roster bonus on Sunday, And so all of a sudden, man, Caleb Williams is going to go in there. He's got DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, and he's got Cole Kmet, and they're lining this young man up, this first-round pick, to be successful, which I think, look, if you're the first quarterback taken, normally, you're the number one overall, you're going to a team who's not good. Bryce Young, right? This time, you're going to a team that I'm not going to tell you is good, but they're not brutal, and they went out and they're doing everything they can to prepare that place for this young man to have all the tools to succeed.
Yeah, because this is the Panthers pick. So for the Chicago Bears, the only thing I will say, if I'm Justin Fields, I'm just going, what? Like, what were you guys doing for the first 2 years?
Right. What you do for me?
Like, what was the point of the first 2 years of Justin Fields in Chicago? So I can just see him sitting there going, "Oh, this is fantastic." 1 year DJ Moore, and then the guys go out there and acquire Keenan Allen for Caleb Williams. Great, because that is a good job on Chicago, is surrounding a young quarterback with veteran receivers. It makes sense. I love this move for a fourth-round pick. You're moving off Justin Fields. You're going to bring in Caleb Williams. And they've spent money. Montez Sweat deal. They paid him up. They're paying guys on the back end, Johnson in the secondary. So they're establishing a lot of pieces for this franchise. And I know everyone is still screaming over the Justin Fields thing. Like, there's time. Like, it doesn't have to happen right now. Just because he's still on the roster doesn't mean he's going to be there and there's going to be some made-up quarterback controversy. Chicago's taking a quarterback at number one. Most likely going to be Caleb Williams. They'll find a landing spot for Justin Fields. And I think the rest of the NFL is just waiting it out. They know that Fields is not going to be there, and so they're not going to even send a third-round pick for Fields right now, because to me, I think it's more the rest of the NFL trying to call the Bears bluff than everyone in this league saying Justin Fields can't play. Because if that's the case, then the football world needs to take a step back and ask themselves, what are we really doing here if we say that we can't figure out a way to play with that dude on a football?
Yeah, I think all of that's right. All right, so that happens. Sam Howell, the former Commanders quarterback, is now a Seahawk. He goes over to Seattle. He'll compete with Geno Smith for that job there. And then let's keep an eye on this. And I don't know how much noise will come from this, but Dallas police have confirmed that they're investigating a alleged sexual assault involving Dak Prescott. This was back in 2017 when this allegedly happened. It's a result of a complaint which was filed by a woman who alleges that Prescott assaulted her in the back of an SUV 7 years ago, and it's now coming out. Prescott's filed a lawsuit that he's being extorted for $100 million by this woman and her attorneys. And I don't know what happened. I've seen this play both sides. This isn't something we've never seen before, but just something to keep an eye on. And JJ, noise and distraction, I believe that kind of stuff has effect. So just keep an eye on that. All right, 505-246-0610. Let's go back to the phones. Travis, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hey, living Travis.
Good morning, fellas.
You good?
Yeah, listen, tired, but it's like that good tired. You know what I mean? It's like that good, you're exhausted, but it's the good exhausted. It's like when it's hard to describe. I read earlier in the week that Jared Lucas was jawing with Lobo fans at the airport, saying,
really?
Good luck in the NIT. Joke's on you, pal. You're not even staying for the weekend.
Yeah, they'll be in the NCAA tournament, though. That's Nevada's guy. I really thought it was going to be Nevada tonight, but no, they're not going to the NIT. They're getting in the tournament.
No, Alford got noodled, and he made a first-round exit, which is something that we've seen from Alford teams in the past. But they are actually they're a really good team. I'm talking a lot of junk here, but they actually are a really good team. And 6 in, let's do it. But great win last night. I think it's really impressive what this team was able to do defensively against Boise, a team that every time Max Rice or Degenhardt shoot the ball, you just like pray. You're just crossing yourself, hoping it doesn't, that it doesn't go in. But defense travels wherever you go, even if you're missing buckets. And the Lobos made a lot of buckets last night, a lot of clutch ones. But if you're a team going to the NCAA tournament, what identity would you rather have? A team that lights it up from three-point line, for a gritty, tough defensive team that's going to pressure the ball all game long. And for my money, I'm taking the gritty, tough defense, because if you have a bad shooting night, your season is over.
That's
and
right.
so I really appreciate Pitino putting to bed the conversation about Jalen House and his interactions with the fans. And I appreciate you playing that clip earlier. I mean, I don't think we talk enough about what this kid endures in every single arena he goes in and he plays in around the Mountain West Conference. I think that's a little overlooked. I mean, he's getting screamed at, he's getting cursed at. I mean, and last night, it started before the game even tipped with the Boise State fan with the hat, right? He's getting that all the time. These opposing teams chanting at him, Jalen sucks, whatever it is. But he doesn't let it affect him. It fuels him. And that kind of mental toughness should really be applauded. And so I really appreciate how Pitino shut it down and how he handled it last night. Look, I think Jeff Grammer's the best sports writer in the Mountain West, and we're damn lucky to have him at the Journal. But I think he's made a lot over the last 3 years about these fans' interactions.
Yeah.
This team really feeds on Jalen's energy. And one final thing from me, what I loved most about last night was the play at the end of the game. House was going for that exclamation dunk, that let me help you check your luggage dunk. Like, I'm going to close this out in the final 16 seconds. I'm the smallest guy in the building, and I'm going to dunk this on your head. And I'm glad he didn't get tangled up and hurt in that flagrant foul, but love his energy. And there is not a team in this conference, and soon not a team in the NCAA tournament, that wants to see that guy or this team.
So
Have a good weekend, fellas.
Thanks, man. Let me help you check your luggage done. DC, will you replay this? Because I think this is good, and it's Richard Pitino's good with the media. He's a good quote. So I'll set this up again. In Travis alluded to it. JJ, I don't know how you feel. Jeff Grammer is really good, and he's our friend. He's really good. He does love this subject, right? House against House and the fans.
House versus everyone.
Yes, and so he asked him again, and look, Jalen was jawing with some guy in a hat from the beginning. He talked about it on CBS
I want to know
Sports.
what the hat looked like.
Yeah, it was just a hat, just that dude in the hat. And this is Pitino, and I know we played this a little while ago, but if you didn't hear it, this is a fiery Pitino after asked that question.
You ask all the time. I don't care. I don't do it, but that's him, and it's the guy had 29 points. What would I ever do to get in the way of that? It doesn't affect him. Utah State, they're screaming at him, swearing at him. It doesn't affect him. So what do I care? He's a great kid. He competes his butt off. There's an old expression: you'd rather tone down a Bronco than warm up a corpse. And I don't want to tone him down too much. He's damn good, and fans, it doesn't bother him. And you're seeing that a little bit more with some players. They're kind of going back. It's not my cup of tea, but have at it. Keep playing great. I'll let you do that for sure.
I can't tell you how much I love that. And that's Coach saying, I got my guys back. Yeah, I know who he is. And he just went out and scored 29 points and got us into the semifinal and got us into the NCAA tournament. I can't tell you how much I love a coach backing that guy up. And I know some of you don't like it, and some of you love it. And that's cool. I know what you all love, and you all love winning. And you're winning in large part because of that young man.
Absolutely. It's a message to everyone. It's a message to people asking questions. It's a message to people talking about Jalen House. It's all about how you handle yourself. And Jalen House is someone that is out. His emotions are outwardly, and he understands that people are going to come back at him, and he's okay playing that game. And so whatever we're talking about, whether it's flipping a bat or the extra celebration after any type of play, it comes down to, are you okay with someone coming back at you? And Jalen House is. And so if you're going to play or act that way, others are going to act that way back at you. And as long as you're all on the same page playing that game, it's fine. Jalen's on that same page. The team is fine. Because when you look at Jalen House, a lot of the stuff he does, he's motioning at the fans, but it's just like after a play, like keeping his hand up, running back down court. He's not necessarily, getting in the opponent's face every single time, which would cause a ton of problems. Like, this is I do really appreciate what Pitino did there.
Yeah. I thought it was a great response. Like, what do you want me to do, man? He scored 29 points. You want me to reel that guy in? Like, why would I get in the way of that? And I agree with you, and I've been on the same side of that boat. All right, Kenny Thomas due to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll kick it with Kenny. Really looking to hear his thoughts on the Lobo win last night and what we all believe is a berth into the NCAA tournament. We'll get out to the state tournament coming up at 9:30 with Sebastian Noel because, boy, it's been fun out there as well. Hey, you know what? I know the weather's crummy, but that's a good time to make your appointment with On the Spot Automotive Detailing because your car's taking a little bit of a beating right now with the wind and all the weather. Then you're going to want it detailed, and On the Spot Automotive Detailing will come out to you and they'll detail your vehicle. What does that mean, Jeff? I hear that all the time. They really come. Yes, they come to you where it's convenient, when it's convenient. So you don't take your car to them. You're working, you're in the office, they're in the parking lot, they detail your vehicle. When they are done, it looks and it feels and it smells like the day you took it off the lot. Their ceramic coating and paint protection film work like magic. We're talking no more mud, no more dirt, no more water stains, and their protective layering helps prevent UV oxidation damage to your car's paint. They were awarded Best in the City for 2023 because they know what it takes to keep your car in the best condition it can be. Call and protect one of your biggest investments. It's On the Spot Automotive Detailing. You can book and buy. Everything is right there online. Go see them at OTSdetailing.com. That's OTSdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange, the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Cross-Camara here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you with
live after the game. I listened to it for the first time. Yeah, he drops an S-bomb. And Rich Walsh says, we apologize for that. John Rothstein, college basketball writer. New Mexico is now 7-7 against quad 1 and 2 opponents, ranked top 25 in the net. He says Lobos are now capital I, capital N, the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2014. And the Mountain West will have 6 teams in March Madness. I think we all believe that's right? And go solidify, go get a championship. But I think that's what last night meant, JJ. It was a really feel good around that building. One other thing, and I mentioned this to you, Max Rice, the talented guard from Boise State, and I was in on the press conference. He said that is the most. He's talking about New Mexico. That's the most talented team in the Mountain West, top to bottom. He said, I don't envy the 6 or 7 seed that has to play them in the NCAA tournament. And then he was asked, were you guys just were you not ready? He says, no, we were ready. It wasn't a matter of not being ready. That team, when they're locked in, they're going to beat a lot of teams in the country. Max Rice had a whole lot of respect for New Mexico after that game.
Because the Lobos are that team. And New Mexico, when you flash as high of a ceiling as they've had this year, the games against Utah State, San Diego State at home, you go on the road, those are going to be different. Now you find your footing on neutral ground. And you saw that last night against Boise State. The Lobos responded, a team that really ran the Lobos off the floor in 2 games. New Mexico showed up and set the tone defensively, held them to 29% shooting from the field, 66 total points. They responded. They knew what they needed to do. Go right at Boise State, attack them on both ends of the floor, and they stepped up. And I'm really excited to see this team back on the floor tonight because the vibe is fantastic. You can feel it through the TV. You can feel it watching the game. The Lobo fans are out in force, and it's Pitt West again. And they've bought in, and they're backing this team.
Yeah, it was something to be in that building. It really was. And hope you've enjoyed the coverage and the stuff that we've been able to bring you from Las Vegas. I want to say thank you again to the partners who made sure that we are here for you this year and every year. Coleman Vision, perfect game. DSI Document Solutions Incorporated, New Mexico. Boost your productivity and reduce your costs with DSI. Frontier Restaurant in Albuquerque, tradition for more than 50 years. Airport parking, easier, quicker, smarter. Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor. Just, you talked about the ceiling and what Max Rice says. That's probably what made it so frustrating and so dark around here after the Air Force loss, right? You got a team that looks like this. And I go back to, man, they're college-age young men. They're 18 to 20, well, on Jamal Baker's case, 25, but basically 18 to 22, 23-year-old men. They go up and down, and Air Force came in and beat them. But I go back, and I remember how dark it was after that Air Force game. and it's over, and this is ridiculous, and Patino's got to go, and all the stuff that we heard on the show. And I get it. It was in the moment. But I guess when, the passion level is so high, and passion runs both ways, and you see what the ceiling is, that's what made that one so tough to handle, huh?
Of course. And because at that moment in time, you still had opportunities, but you knew how difficult those opportunities were going to be. And that was at Utah State, at Boise State, those games to end the season. And you could be looking back at that game and go, man, did that keep you out of the NCAA tournament? So that frustration boiled over when you miss those opportunities in the regular season. But to get that one last night, it opens up everything. It puts you on the right side of the bubble, gives you a chance to not only get out of the Dayton game for sure, if you can get another win tonight, but a chance to then play for a conference tournament championship and cut down some nets.
Yeah, and they took advantage of an opportunity. The final one, probably. In retrospect, I wonder if the Air Force game would have kept them out, or they still would have needed yesterday to get into the NCAA tournament. You know what I mean? If they would have needed to win yesterday. I don't know the answer, but I kind of think so. Kenny Thomas due to be with us next. Kicking it with Kenny, the former Lobo great, 11-year NBA veteran. We'll hear what Kenny has to say about this Lobo team and winning. Boy, he played in some big games in Vegas with some big crowds. Kicking it with Kenny when we come back on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like this shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact.
The fact that the energy and the excitement and you can tell like they were in a zone, like when they came out off focused, and you got Dent that's scoring the first 7 points, and then you got a guy coming off the bench in Baker that scores the next 6 points by knocking down 2 threes and starting to feel himself, and everything was flowing, man. You could tell the energy and the vibe that they had. Like they're on a different level right now, and the fact that they bounced back with that Fresno State game, go down to Boise, only win, lose by 2 points senior night, and then you come out and you make a statement. I've been saying the Lobos have been making a statement these last couple games, and you can tell the way that they came out and performed last night, it was unreal.
Yeah, he's Kenny Thomas, and I think you meant to go up to Logan on Utah State on lose by 2 points on senior night, and I thought that was a big piece. No worries. They played well there. I told JJ last night, yesterday, there's a couple of reasons I think the Lobos were going to win. I have a theory that I think when Mountain West teams are really evenly matched, usually the team who needs it the most wins. But I thought they were playing with confidence. I thought they played well at Utah State. And I thought the Air Force game, getting that one game here, while you never want to have to play for, the fact that they dominated and didn't have to play all their guys a lot of minutes was key. And Donovan Dent told me after the game, he said that was a big part of it.
Man, playing 4 games, I think that Air Force game, obviously that was a revenge win because of the way that Air Force beat them at home. I think that was a tune-up game to get them ready for Boise State, to be honest, because the way that they came out on defense, you could just tell like they were focused. They came out with tremendous amounts of energy, and I keep saying it, man. They came out and made a statement. I think I told you if they got past Air Force, which they should have won by like 5 points or more, I wanted to say 10 or more, but they blew them out, right? And then they come and they make another statement, and then I'm thinking to myself, they might as well just go ahead and win the Mountain West Conference tournament. Why not?
Yeah. Why not? He's Kenny Thomas, and he's with us as Kicking with Kenny on the Sports Animal.
Kenny, one of the things about this defense, and with JT Toppin and Nelly Jr. Joseph are able to do on the perimeter, even just showing for a second, slowing down Boise State. What did you see about the guys in the scrambling, what they were able to do to cover the floor last night?
Well, JT and Nelly playing some great ball, man. And that there was one time when Nelly was out on the perimeter and almost got a steal and a breakaway, but he lost the ball. But the fact that he's trying to help the Lobos in other situations, right? As far as, hey, if he's not scoring, what can I do to help us win? JT only had 2 or 4 points last night, but he had like 13 rebounds.
Yep.
And the fact that he's dominating the boards, and Boise State is obviously a team that's bigger, and Pitino even expressed that from the standpoint of once they got the ball into the paint, no, we're not going on the dribble, we're going on the catch and getting them to dig out and different things like that. I've been wanting the guards to dig a little bit more and help, especially when the Lobos are playing against a bigger, longer team. Scrambling is a big part of what the Lobos do, man. Getting out in transition, scrambling, getting those 50-50 balls, and seeing what they can do in transition.
Kenny Thomas joining us on the opening drive, and you look at the effort and just being able to flip it up. And I think what you saw was the Lobos responded to a challenge, man. They knew that Boise State ran them off the floor twice this season. Because Jeff's talked about it, like New Mexico all of a sudden didn't just get bigger, but sometimes all it is a little more effort and can put you in a different place.
Yeah, and then everybody was talking about maybe the Lobos need to go with a bigger lineup. I'm like, no. Like, you need to take advantage of where you're great, which is transition and playing defense and playing and playing the passing lanes, because they're right there in the country in the top 15, if not 20, when it comes to those things. And they just need to keep on playing their type of ball. See, what I really loved is that even when Boise State went to a 1-3-1, the Lobos didn't settle and take jump shots. They were getting to the top of the key. Dent was the majority of the time the top of the key, so the ball is in the middle of the paint, and then the defense collapsed. It was great. So House, I've been waiting for him to have a breakout year, and then I love Pitino, man. After the post-game show, he said, I'm not trying to tame him. We had Kramer, the news guy, talking about, why? What's going on with House? Like, why do you allow him to do that? No, Pitino's like, I'm letting him be him. I love it.
Yeah, we just played that soundbite a couple of times, and I love that as well. Kenny, did you ever play with a guy like House? An emotional guy that was...
Oh, yeah.
Was so fiery, but yet could control a game so many ways. He is he's special, man, and I like the way he plays. I know not everybody does. You ever play with a guy like that?
Yeah, I would say Royce Only at UNM. I would say Clayton Shields, and then when you get to the NBA, you got guys like Ron Artest, who I played with. Meta, my bad, Meta. Sorry to get mad at me.
He was Ron Artest back in the day.
Yeah, and then, shoot, man. But see, but I played against some of those guys too, like KG, just those really high energy guys.
Yeah.
And then it can get a little bit intimidating, but it's a matter of stepping up. And I think it's a tactic to be able to intimidate you. And I feel like that's what Eddie's doing. And it's I call him Eddie, his dad. But because I played with Eddie, I'm so used to saying that. But I feel like he's just playing some great ball, man, and let him do what he does. But sometimes he just can't get over emotional to where he's getting in fouls that he should not be getting, basically.
I guess where I was going is when you get a guy like that on your team, is it always a positive effect? Do you just say, I'm going to let Jalen be Jalen and I'm going to do my thing? Do you let him affect your emotion, right? Because you're with that guy every day, and he's almost, and not even almost, he's demanding more from everybody out there.
You got to feed off of that, man.
Yeah,
like if I had a teammate like House, it's one of those things to where if you can't feed off of that emotion, that excitement of where he is in the moment of this game, you should not have your ass on the floor. Go to the bench, because it should be contagious to where just because you're not scoring, there's other ways of how you can affect the game. Go out there and make a change and affect the game for your team.
Kenny Thomas is with us. We're kicking it with Kenny here on the Sports Animal.
No, Kenny, this team has talked about, and they haven't ran from it in the last couple of games, about what it means for their NCAA tournament resume. But now this team believes, hey, we got that done. We can go out there and win a championship. What would it mean for this squad to be able to cut down nets in Las Vegas?
Man, the fact that they just got another quad one win, they are showing that they should be right in the dance. And I feel like the game last night, there's no way that they should not get into the tournament. Now it comes down to it to where don't even allow the committee to even have an option of keeping you out. So why not go beat Colorado State? You beat them before. You opened up the Mountain West Conference tournament. You might have lost to them, but you got them back. So when it comes to you having an upside right now, you do, because going into the Boise State game, you were 0-2. So why not come out and keep playing the way that you're playing? Bring the energy, bring the tenacity, and just keep it going on defense, because defense is going to win games.
Go win a championship. Kenny Thomas is with us. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk to you a little bit about what it means to get into the tournament, what it means to play 3 or maybe 4 games in a row. You've been in these settings before. You played, and your mindset and what you've got to do, and just the fans also, how they traveled. And I don't know, Kenny, I was here when you were playing, and the emotion was a lot like that yesterday in the pit. So I want to relieve some of that. Kenny Thomas is with us. We're kicking it with Kenny. Continue with him next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Jim Rome Show. Do you remember when the Lakers...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like and sure that you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Kicking it with Kenny. Kenny Thomas, the former Lobo great, is with us on the Sports Animal as he is on Tuesdays and Fridays after a 76-66 Lobo victory in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West Conference Tournament. They are in the semis tonight against Colorado State. Both of these teams will be playing their third game in 3 nights. The winner will play their fourth game in 4 days tomorrow afternoon. Kenny joins us. And these tournament settings, man, you do it all the time. When you're in AAU, these kids are playing 2-3 games a day. Then they're doing it again tomorrow. A little different here. When does it start to take a toll? JJ and I have been talking about it. Coaches say third day is when you start to see it take a toll. That would be today.
Yeah, it is the third day. Obviously, playing that extra game, the Air Force game, was a huge toll. They weren't supposed to be in that situation. Going to the conference tournament, this is where you could be able to set the tone. Because obviously whoever wins the tournament gets an automatic bid. But I feel like it was great for them to be able to play those games the Air Force game, because I felt like they needed it to help with their confidence and their stride right now, because I feel like they're on cloud nine right now, and they're playing some great ball. And leading up into the NCAA tournament, you never know who you're going to get, right? But the fact that you're in the tournament and you get to make some noise, because this is when March Madness is off the chain. It's crazy.
You know, I want your perspective on Lobo Fan, and I'm going to ask you in this vein. You've felt both sides of it. I know as a player, you heard stuff that, I mean, it's Lobo Fan, right? We've heard MASH and House, and people have referred to it. The passion works both ways. Lobo fans love their Lobos. Some of them, and I don't want to say, I don't want to bulk all of them. And maybe it's a vocal minority. JJ and I have had this conversation. They've been on House. They've been on Mashburn. What's your sense on Lobo Fan? Are they different than any other fan base, or is it because they've, I don't know, because this is the pro sports in this town, essentially? Your take on being a player and dealing with the back and forth, the highs and lows, the extremes of Lobo Fan, and now with social media, you never had to deal with that.
Man, social media now is a whole nother beast. One, you have to watch what you say on there to a certain extent, I think. There's always a lot of criticism and different things going on from that perspective. But even with my show last night after the Lobo game, the fact that we have loyal fans that are calling, and then we had about 4 or 5 fans call from Las Vegas. And that's nice, because you have people calling from Cleveland, Ohio, staying up 3 o'clock in the morning just to call in and talk to us about the show and showing how excited that person was last night. And then being able to hear that it's 3-1 with Lobo fans in there against Boise State, and people talking about how exciting it is, how Colorado State has a lot of fans. I don't care about the fans, man. I don't. And when I say fans, I'm not talking about Lobo fans. I don't care about the opposing team fans, right? Because Lobo Nation is there, Pitt West is there, and it was rocking in there. I was sitting here watching the game, obviously, and it was loud in there, and how they were talking about how all the Lobo fans are still standing and the majority of the game, and that's tremendous support, man. So keep it up, Lobo Nation and the community. And what's nice, today's Friday. Might even get some more Lobo fans up there. So
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, Kenny Thomas with us. It's Kicking It with Kenny on the Sports Animal.
Kenny, when you look at these moments, sometimes whether it's an in-season tournament and an MTE where you're playing 2 or 3 games back-to-back days, you get to a conference tournament. As a player, is it almost kind of freeing where you're not overthinking it? You're just kind of waking up and playing basketball, and then you're on to the next day. You're not, going through a practice and focusing on everything. You're just kind of back to, just hooping.
Yeah, it does come down to your natural instincts, right? Is to just go out there and kind of hoop. Because with me, I think the first couple of minutes are a little nerve-wracking, but once you get settled in, it's like riding a bike. Like once you get there, you take off your training wheels and you're free and you're able to do what you need to do on that bike, right? I feel like it's the same thing. Like they play basketball the majority of their lives, and it should be from the standpoint of you going out there and doing what you're doing and getting settled in and starting to feel a little bit more confident. But that crowd, man, when you have the crowd there with you, it could kind of feel like home. So I feel like the 6-man is really coming through for the Lobos, and I appreciate that the community supporting them, even though it is in Las Vegas.
How far do they go in this tournament? You think they win it all? They get through tonight?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
I think they can win it all, man. If they can get past Colorado State, which I think they can, it's a matter of them playing Lobo basketball and not feeding into the way that Colorado State plays, because it can get a little slower. I feel like maybe once their guards, or if their guards get going, or whoever, if somebody does get going with Colorado State, go double them. Allow somebody else to actually beat you And then you got to be able to live with that. And then you got Utah. You got Utah State and San Diego State playing against each other. The Lobos can beat them too. It's just a matter of taking one game at a time. Why not go win the Mountain West Conference tournament? That's a whole nother level if they ended up doing that.
Yeah, I'm looking at Tom Mosser, who writes a lot of Mountain West stuff. He's the host of Top of the Mountain West. It's a podcast. He says he doesn't think he's one of the few media guys I've seen that says New Mexico's not a lock. He says there's bid Steelers out there. He says they're in good shape, but they're not a lock. I think if they win tonight, they would be a lock. I'm with him, man. I think they're in, but I would feel a whole lot more comfortable if they win again tonight. I think both of you feel the same way.
Absolutely.
Oh, I totally agree, because if you're just continuing to shut people up. Just keep shutting people up. Like that right there, if that doesn't light a fire under you, I don't know what will. Because whenever somebody tries to tell me that we're not good enough or we're not this and that, I can't wait to shut you up. So
maybe that was the dude in the hat.
Go ahead.
Maybe that was the guy in the hat yelling at Jalen. I don't know.
Hey, that guy over there with the hat. I love that interview. That was nice after the game. He didn't care. You could tell he's still being passionate about it.
Yeah, that's who he is.
Lobos, man.
All right, Kenny will be on News Radio tonight, late night tonight, probably even later tonight than last night.
10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Is when it's scheduled to start. So we'll see where it is. He's going to have the post-game show, Lobo Live, Kicking It with Kenny with Brandon Ortega. And then when we talk to you on Tuesday, we'll know what they're doing in the NCAA tournament, where they're going and who they're playing, and we'll have a matchup to talk about. Appreciate you getting up, my man. I know it's early for you. I'm going to take a little nap. I'm going to guess you are as well. But enjoy it, and we'll catch you next week.
Man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Jeff and JJ. People out there, Channel 13 with Van Tate. You got me, Jamal Fenton, and Chad Adams doing Selection Sunday show. So after the Selection Sunday, I think it's at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Check us out on Channel 13. We'll be doing like a little episode. If they make it or if they don't make it. So check that out, and I'll be posting it on my social media, Kenny Thomas NBA. Thanks, fellas.
See you, Kenny. All right, when we come back, we're going out to the state tournament, and boy, is there a lot going on there. You've been out at the pit. I know those of you in town have been there. Sebastian Noel from ProView Network. We're going to check in on that and everything that's going on at the state high school tournament. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Oh, Matt.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico.
All right, from the pit west to the pit, the actual pit, the University Arena pit, the one in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta in Vegas, JJ's in downtown Burque, and Sebastian Noel, the voice of the people from ProView Networks, got a cot in a little condo set up out at University Arena where he and the ProView Networks crew have been there for the state high school tournament, which has been off the chain as well. We got to check in with that. Great crowds, great action. He is the voice of the people from ProView Networks, Sebastian Noel. How you living, my friend?
Yeah, good morning. It does like we just kind of live here for a week because we get into the building before, right around 7 a.m. We don't leave till 10 p.m., so it does feel like we lived here for a week.
Yeah, I went by your little ProView Network suite the other day, and it was beautiful. You got snacks and seats, and you didn't have couches and cots, but it was pretty nice. Dude, your call on that grown man.
It looks like a degenerate dorm room. You can be honest.
It's 100% right. Your call on that grown man dunk, the young man from Highland yesterday. Great call, great play. Wow. It was unreal. You've had some games, man. I look at what we've got, and if you're a fan of Metro basketball, you got a whole lot coming up on Saturday. You got Valley and Highland and boys for Class 4A championships, Sandia Volcano Vista 5A girls. You've got Volcano Vista against a great team from the South and Oregon Mountain. You got great stuff.
Yeah, I guess we'll start in 4A. I was still trying to process how Highland did what they did against Pius yesterday. But I guess it really shouldn't surprise me because that's what they've done against Pius all year. But, they were down that whole game, and their star, Lecone, was just hobbling around out there. We don't know if it was a foot, a knee, an ankle, whatever. But he hadn't scored at all in the second half, so, you thought Pius was in control. And then he rattles off 8 points in less than 45 seconds, just like that. That's a tie game, and they go on to win that. And, it was something else.
Was Highland down by 8 with 1:38 or something to go in that game? That game was over, right?
Yeah. Well, the only hope you had is that they've done it all year, right? But you just thought, okay, today it's not going to happen because Lecone's hurt, and he was obviously hurt. He hadn't done anything in that second half. And then it happened like it always does.
You're still muted. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. 5A girls. Sandia's had a heck of a tournament. They started out by beating El Dorado, and here they are. They're going to play for a championship.
Yeah, you talk about pressure. How would you like to roll out of bed in the morning? You find out you've just been awarded the Gatorade Player of the Year, and then you have to go play a game a couple of minutes after that. That's what happened to Sydney Benali, right? And she was clutch. That game was it was tight throughout. Huge go-ahead or a game-winning 3 for Audrey Wright. Benali was fantastic, but Farmington gave them everything they could handle.
And when you look at Cindy Benali, and I know what we've seen out of in El Dorado, right? All the hype that's going on over there. Where does she just fall in terms of starting to get the attention, next level player, of course, Gatorade Player of the Year, but what her opportunities could look like at the next level?
I mean, look, if you're going to beat out Bella Hines for Gatorade Player of the Year, you're obviously a baller, right? So she is. She's going to be playing D1 as well. She scores at all three levels, just like Bella. She can defend, and I don't want to just limit the comparison to just, Bella, because I think that's unfair to Sydney. But, I mean, she's super athletic. The motor, I mean, it's everything you would want. There's a reason she's getting all these accolades, right? And wherever she goes, I mean, she's special.
And you look at this, and I think it's been so much fun to watch over the last few years. Just the growth too of the talent level of girls basketball in the state, and to see another great game to Volcano Vista knocking off the defending champion in Hobbs. What are we expecting out of that title game now between those two teams?
Well, now you can't ever count Volcano Vista out, right? They beat Hobbs yesterday, tight one. Hobbs was without their starting point guard because, again, the round before there was an incident with La Cueva. Go figure, right? Whenever those two meet, it's like Hobbs has a player ejected, and then they're shorthanded the next day against Volcano. Credit the Hawks. Huge 20-point lead. Hobbs came all the way back, but Volcano took care of business. Coach Villarreal, one of the best ever to do it, she's going to have a game plan for Sandia. And I think they're going to have to slow Sandia down because Sandia has a lot of weapons. But if anyone could do that, it would be Volcano Vista. I think it's going to be a great matchup.
He's Sebastian Noel, and he's the voice of the people. We're hitting Friday of the state tournament, and the crowds have been great out there. The energy, is there been sessions that have just been different, or how's the atmosphere? Because when I was out there the other day, I thought it was great.
I mean, obviously, when the green shirts started arriving for Albuquerque High, that's when it got special. And the Bulldogs had a real nice run. And they were in that game with Oregon Mountain. I mean, the margin, 56-47. But Oregon Mountain was tested. I don't think anyone had Albuquerque High in the Final Four. And it was a little Bulldog City-esque yesterday in the pit. And then, of course, La Cueva surging late into these playoffs. That always brings out a lot of alum, right? So that was a pretty nice crowd for that Volcano Vista La Cueva game last night as well.
Help me with Oregon Mountain, and here they are. They're number 2 in the state. They're going to get Volcano in the championship game, and I'm going to guess a lot of people in the Metro have not got a chance to see the best team from down south. It's a Las Cruces team that comes up with a bunch of talent, and I know you've got to see them over the last couple of days. Who do you like in the big school boys championship?
I mean, you can't bet against Volcano Vista in a game like that. They're just so good. They have Kenyon Owino. They have Greg Brown on the sideline there. He's done it before. They're just so battle-tested. Oregon Mountain, though, they'll be up to the task. They have a big guy themselves in Brandon Kiris. He'll be in there battling with Aguino. A really, really good guard, and Kenyon Wilson. He has a couple of dunks this tournament as well. He can score at all three levels. And then they have a bunch of role players that can all score, and they defend really well. I think the key to that game is going to be who can defend without fouling, because both of those teams are very aggressive defenses. And the team that has their guys on the floor the longest and for the most minutes, I think will come away with the W there.
Does it ever amaze you when you see the crowds out there? And I know you get in your bubble, and any of us who do this, you're covering a tournament, so that's your world. I'm out here in Vegas, and it's been my world, and I see all these Lobo fans and all these people, and then I go back and I look at some of the crowds that are there. How many people just love hoops in our state? Like the fact that the pit is packed with session after session after session of basketball fans, and yet there's 6, 7, 8, 9,000 of them here as well.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, every year there's a large caravan of fans that always go to Vegas for the Mountain West tournament, and that's a large group of those fans. They're also high school fans, but yet the buildings are still full, right? And at the smaller schools, obviously, it helps when you have your Navajo Preps, your Tahatchee, your Santa Fe Indian School. For as rabid as metro area fans are for basketball, basketball on the reservation, it's a religion to those people. They love it. And so the Rio Rancho Event Center is full. Now, today, 4A and 5A are off, so 3A and 2A get their chance into the pit. There'll be huge crowds today, I guarantee it.
Yeah, and Sebastian, when you look at those, the 1, 2, and 3A boys and girls, is there anything that jumps out to you about what you've seen?
Actually, yeah, it was a matchup that we talked about a couple of weeks ago on the air when you were, Jeff was asking how to get your producer interested in this tournament. And I said, well, the one thing that's, no headlines or anything, but take them to the 3A Girls Championship that could end up being Tehachapi and Navajo Prep. Well, that's exactly what we have. It'll be the 1 and 3 in that championship today, and I have a suspicion that'll be in front of a pretty large crowd.
What time?
That game's at 3 o'clock.
There you go, DC. 3 o'clock today out there. It's a girls' game, and you'll get a hell of a crowd. All right, so you got the big schools are off today, right? So you got finals tomorrow. I think it starts, is it 4A boys in the morning? Is that how you get started? And that's that Highland Valley game.
That's in the afternoon.
Oh, is that afternoon? Good. Makes me happy.
4 o'clock will be Highland and Valley, 4 o'clock. And then the big game, the big 5A game is at 8. The one in between that is usually the 1A boys game. That gives a chance for some of the crowd to leave, some of the crowd to get in. That's always odd. There's a game going on, a 1A boys championship game, while a really large 4A crowd is filing out and a really large 5A crowd is filing in. The 8 o'clock game is the 2A game, always in the morning. That always draws a pretty decent crowd right off the bat.
Yeah. All right, if you can't get out there, you can watch the games on the NFHS network. It's available, and the ProView crew has just been doing an insane job. Like I said, I always try to stop by there before I get out of town, and I'll stop by again when I get back in town tomorrow. But the job that you're doing, game after game, every single game is available for you on the NFHS network. Go to ProViewNetworks.com, and you can click through and get your subscription. And it's all right there. Am I missing something on that? That's how people can do that if they can't get out there?
No, you're spot on, Jeff. And like you said, I'm very fortunate. It's my call that you're here on some of those dunks and stuff, but man, I get to work with some of the most dedicated people that are literally there before the sun comes up, and we don't go home until 10 o'clock at night. And like Jeff said, we're bunkered up. We're just happy when we see visitors like Jeff and some sunlight.
Those are two completely different things, just for the record. Hey, great job, my friend. Keep it up. I know you got 2 days left. You've got a little bit of a voice left, and appreciate you sharing some of the knowledge with our people, and have fun out there. I know you will. I'll see you out there tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
He is the voice of the people, Sebastian Noel. JJ, they just do an amazing job. Game after game after game, the production looks good, and they got a bunch of guys doing it. And it was fun to be out there. Have you been out there yet? You get a chance to go out?
No, I haven't gotten a chance to.
Stop out, man. I just love the energy out there. All right, we're going to wrap it up from Vegas and from Albuquerque when we come back. You still have time to get in at 505-246-0610. Lobos in Colorado State tonight, coming off of the victory last night. I just saw a tweet from that Tom Mosser guy that he's the one that said New Mexico's not easy. He says, from now on, I'm only going to post what New Mexico fans want to hear. It seems to be the only thing they'll listen to. I say that in jest. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life.
It's Friday. We got 2 to go. Kind of feels weird to do a quick hoe on a big day. All right. Is that quick? Feels like on such a big day to do such a short hoe just doesn't feel right. But I want to get the calls in as we can. Wrapping it up in Vegas, Lobos win last night, 76-66 over Boise State in the conference quarterfinals. It'll be New Mexico State, Colorado State in one semi tonight, Utah State, San Diego State on the other side. And by most accounts, New Mexico's in the NCAA tournament. I think you'd feel a lot better if you won again tonight. 505-246-0610. Let's go. We're going to go to northern Nevada. Let's go up to Reno. Steve, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Steve.
Hey, brother. How are you?
Life's grooving. How you living?
Doing great. You know, watching the games yesterday, Nevada took one, and that's fine in the grand scheme of things. You saw Alfred's presser, and the kids weren't feeling very well. They didn't sound good. They sound kind of like I do right now. So I think they need the rest. But I was watching those games, and I'm thinking, man, what a day to be, a San Diego State alum and then to be the guy in Albuquerque. And you must have just been loving it, and you get to do it again today.
It's a good day, man. You know me well, and I don't complain a lot about what I do. And the Aztec game was fun to watch, and they survived. And I was just happy for this fan base in New Mexico, and to I think get into the NCAA tournament. I think we haven't talked about this, JJ. Do you think they wanted another shot at Nevada? Do you think it would have been more satisfying tonight to play against Steve Alford and Craig Neal?
Well, I think that game is always going to have a different level to it, but it was, regardless of who you play, it was going to be a great Friday. Yeah,
it didn't matter. No, it was a good day, Steve.
They just want to win and keep going, win in advance at this point, I would think.
Yeah, I think Nevada, and I'm surprised.
We were rooting for the Lobos last night after the Wolfpack was out, and it's good for the team, it's good for the league, and hopefully they're in.
You and I text a lot, and I've referred to Steve as, I tell you, I got a buddy up in Reno. We talk a lot. This league's been fun this year, hasn't it? I mean, you didn't go to a Mountain West school, but you become a big fan of one. And God, this has been as fun a basketball season as I can recall. Period.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, I'm enjoying the southern part of your state. I'll catch up with you soon. But hey, thanks for calling in, and appreciate you. Steve called at 505-246-0610. No, he knows his stuff, man. He's a cerebral guy and Wolfpack fan. And I don't know, we didn't really talk about that, did we? Would have been more satisfying. You're satisfied.
It doesn't matter at this point.
You get who you get.
It doesn't matter. Like,
it would
this
have
is one where, if you ended up playing Nevada and Steve Alford and Craig, of course it's going to have a different energy. It's going to have a different buzz, but it just gets the dubs.
Yeah, win-win. And maybe cut down nets. Rudy, good morning. How you feeling? You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Rudy.
Oh, a little tired. Voice is a little ragged. Little hungover. This has been, after everything my family went through, I wanted to come out here and just totally chill. And, we're chilling. We're chilling with the Lobos. That was awesome for the fans. That was awesome for the team. Everybody always asks me, are the Lobo fans that crazy? Yeah, you saw it last night. I mean, there's people hoisting their little kid up. They're ready to throw him on the court to go help him win. It was really awesome to see how many people. And I guarantee you right now, there's another 500 or so Lobo fans in their cars to get out here for tonight's game. That's the way we roll. And it's basketball season, and we have always been that way. So it was really satisfying. I'm torn down. I'm going to be taking naps during the day, but I think we left no doubt last night who the best fan base of the Mountain West tournament is. Utah State has their choreographed moves and all that stuff, but just for passion and knowledge of basketball, UNM fans are really just demonstrating that they can carry the team.
Tell you what, that place could be sick if it's San Diego State, New Mexico on Saturday with those two fan bases. You don't think? Is he gone? I lost Rudy. JJ, if it's San Diego State and New Mexico and those two fan bases, I think it goes bonkers. I think either way, man. Yeah, I think either way. All right, 505-246-0610. Stigler said Lenardi still has. Yeah, but did he update? He said Lenardi still has the Lobos as a first team out. So I'm telling you, man, as much as I think they're in, I don't know that he updated since, and maybe he had since last night. No, he so
1:30 a.m.
1:30 Eastern time.
So it wasn't. That was
before the Lobo game. Yeah, it was before New Mexico won. So I don't know how he feels about it now, but we'll see. The trip to Vegas has been special. It always is. I want to say thank you again to the partners who get us out here. Coleman Vision, perfect game. Airport parking, easier, quicker, smarter. Enchanted Mechanical, the heating and cooling doctor. Frontier Restaurant, an Albuquerque tradition for more than 50 years. And DSI, Document Solutions Incorporated, New Mexico. They boost your productivity and reduce your costs with DSI. Going to be another late night. Naps and do what you got to do. The beauty is tomorrow's Saturday, and so for some of you, you don't have to get up and go to work in the morning. Got to get up and catch a flight, but I it's not as early as this. Well, no, not as early as this. This has been a special one because I do feel that for the first time in a decade, they've earned their way back in. I know Richard Pitino felt that way. You heard from him. All the conversations we had are available for you. SportsAnimalABQ.com. Click on the opening drive. You can hear the Donovan Dent conversation. JJ, thoughts going into tonight? It's still a big game because now you got a chance to just leave no doubt and win a championship.
Yeah, you're at the point where I believe the Lobos are in the NCAA tournament, but they are still floating on that Dayton line. And to me, this is the get out of Dayton game. Mexico wins this. Yes, you're playing for an automatic bid, playing for a chance to cut down nets, but you're out of Dayton and you are in that bracket.
Nothing wrong with Dayton. I'm sure it's a lovely town. I've heard wonderful things, but you don't want to have to play that extra game, especially you had to play the extra game here. Yeah. It's just find yourself firmly in the bracket, and I I think you could do that tonight. It's interesting matchup-wise. Stevens is special, right? He is. They got length on the perimeter too. Nick Clifford, I watched him yesterday. I was really impressed watching him in person. They've got some length. They've got some guys off the bench, and Cartier, I think, is really, really good down low. I think the Lobos have the advantage of the front court. Stevens can be a difference maker, but I give me Denton House up against him, and I feel good about this.
Yeah, I think Clifford would be the biggest X factor for Colorado State. Cartier was quiet. He only played 19 minutes, was 1 of 4 from the floor, so you're expecting him to bounce back for Colorado State. You know what this game's going to be, and it's going to be back and forth battle down to the final minutes in the second half.
Yeah, this will be fun. It'll be physical. Boy, they're all physical. When I get pretty good seats at these things, so sitting right there on a courtside, I don't know if you get sometimes the appreciation. There's two things I always realize when I'm here that maybe I don't, even at the pit or watching on TV. It's the size of guards in this league. They're big physical guards, and then the physicality of the game. It's fun. Great stuff today. Great contributions, great calls. Thank you to Kenny Thomas, Sebastian Noel, Donovan Dent. All of them joined us today. Great week here in Vegas. The Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowers after that. 2 Men On comes your way. That'll be at 4. I'm going to be on with them, I believe, at 4:15. And then we're back here with award-winning radio on Monday and hopefully breaking down the brackets with the Lobos in it. DC, great week. Appreciate it. I know we threw some curves. Today went pretty smooth, though, huh? It was nice, huh? Look at that. I don't think I dropped once. I changed things up a bit. Adrian, great week. It looks great on the visual, and I know you guys got a lot going on. JJ, big weekend?
Huge weekend.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and we will smell you on Monday.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the benefit.